So I'm not an experienced storyteller, but I'm going to do my best. This story is loosely based on the book Henry House of Fitchburg, which was written by D.B. Johnson, and it was written in honor of essayist and naturalist Henry David Thoreau. So it's a story about New England. And I did have a picture. There it is. So the guy with the book in his hand is Henry, and I have named the other character Max for ease of storytelling, and I have also updated the amount of payment that these people get for the services they perform. All right, so one day Henry and his friend Max were talking, and they decided that they were going to take a trip to Fitchburg. And they had different ideas about how to get there. Henry said, you know, I think I'm going to walk. And Max said, not me. I am going to earn some money so that I can take the train. And you can walk if you want. I'm taking the train. So they disagreed on how to get there. But just before they parted, Max, who was a little bit competitive, said, let's see who gets there first. Henry's like, yeah, okay, deal. So they went their separate ways. Henry started walking towards Fitchburg. Max started finding out what chores he could do to raise some money. So first, Max filled the wood box for Mrs. Alcott's stove and earned $2. Henry jumped from rock to cross over the Sudbury River. Max then earned $3 sweeping the floor in the post office. Now he has $5. Henry found a huge branch and carved himself a nice walking trip for his journey. Max pulled the weeds in Mr. Hawthorne's garden, $4 more. Henry collected ferns and flowers and pressed them in his book until they were flat. Max earned $3 for painting the fence in front of the courthouse. Henry found a nice tall stone wall and practiced balancing as he walked across it. Later in the day, Max organized the bookshelves in Mr. Emerson's study, $3 more. Carried water to the cows, $2 more. Henry collected wood and built a raft so he could paddle up the Nashua River, 18 more miles to Fitchburg. Mrs. Thoreau gave Max $2 for cleaning out her chicken coop. Henry found a lovely bird nest in the grass, just 12 more miles to Fitchburg. Max carried flour to the mill for $1 and realized he now had enough money to buy his ticket. Henry, meanwhile, was climbing up a tree to grab the honey, tasty snack. Then he went for a swim in the river to wash off all of that stickiness. So now that Max had enough money, he ran to the station and bought his $20 train ticket, if you weren't keeping track. It was $20. Henry realized it was only 7 more miles to Fitchburg. But just then he found a blueberry patch, and he picked a delicious pail full of blueberries. So Max rode the train to Fitchburg in a tangle of crowded people, very noisy. But he got there just as the sun was setting, found a place to sit, and waited for Henry. Henry had just discovered a shortcut. He only had 1 more mile to go. He carried his pail of blueberries with him and got there and found Max sitting in the moonlight waiting for him. Max said to Henry, "Hey, Henry, the train was a lot faster." Henry said, "Yeah, I know, but I stopped and picked blueberries. Do you want some?" So no matter how you travel or what kind of journeys you like, if you're more like Max or more like Henry, just hope all your journeys are joyful. Thanks for listening to my story.